Welcome to Grey Primer, a weekly show that's mostly about miniatures. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and in this episode I'm going over to the Warhammer 40k Forge Worlds to have a look at the Apocalypse Vanguard Detachment Adeptus Mechanicus. So this is definitely my first Apocalypse unboxing, but I don't think it's my first AdMech unboxing because I did some of their scenery in that Warhammer weekend I did way back. I'll put a link down below and you can check that out. But I do think these are my first Adeptus Mechanicus miniatures. And it's a kind of a cool place to start. These amazing Kastelan Robots. We got a Tech-Priest. We got, what are these other guys called? Cybernetica Datasmiths. And I'm really excited to look at this. And I'm also interested to see if these very generic looking poses that the robots have, whether that's something I can work with. Are there options in there for a little bit more flexibility in the shoulder joints? That was my best ever robot dance. Like, is there going to be some option for posing those arms and legs, or are they just kind of fixed and just standing there like, oh, robots? Let's see. Back soon. Alrighty. It's time for some robot fun with the Adeptus Mechanicus Vanguard Detachment Apocalypse. 10 Citadel miniatures. This is a big box for 10 miniatures, right? But they are kind of cool miniatures. I don't even know what size these robots are. They don't look huge. They don't look sort of dreadnought size, but I guess I'll be able to check. So what we got here? We got Tech-Priest Dominus with the Omnissiah axe. Got the it's like a Volkite. Yeah, Volkite blaster, gamma pistol, power fist there. They just got some. This is the Cybernetica Datasmiths. And then we get into the Kastelan Robots. Okay, so you get one of the Tech-Priests, you get 3 of those Cybernetica Datasmiths, and then 6 robots. Let's have a look. So it does seem excessively large. Let's pop this over here. Yeah, so that's not even up to the top. And this is completely empty. So this could have been half the size. Perhaps it was just a case they wanted to keep it consistent with the rest of the Apocalypse sets, which may have needed a larger box. But interestingly, it's a lot of empty space here. We got a single base here. And I'm guessing this is part of the Tech-Priest. Looks like 2 halves of a huge robe here. Lots of hosing and little creepy sort of hands and articulated arms. A really cool axe. Ornate looking pistol there. Actually, there's a lot of ornate details in here, which I really like. Like, nothing seems to be simple. Everything seems to have that bit of embellishment to it. You almost expect the Adeptus Mechanicus to have the efficiency of a machine, of that, like, why put a detail on there if it doesn't serve a function? But this is a religious order. Following this Omnissiah character leads itself into embellishment, religious iconography, these little fine, ornate details in honor of their god, their machine god. And we have a robot sprue here. So these are, okay, so 3 identical sprues, and I guess we're going to get one of those Datasmiths on each of the sprues, and 2 robots in each sprue. Okay, so I'll quickly just look at the instruction book here. So it is black and white, unfortunately, but I'm sure these aren't too difficult to construct. Great images here throughout. Yeah, I think it all looks pretty straightforward. And I'm seeing a lot of these big ball and socket joints, and that makes me very happy. That tells me that I can pose this whatever way I want. And then we have a couple of these really nice decal sheets marked as Adeptus Mechanicus transfers in white and then also in black. And there's some colored ones there as well. Lovely. And 2 of those. Oh, so yeah, I'm getting a better feel now looking at these bases to the actual size of the robots. So these are the same size as Dreadnought bases, which is great. Okay, excited to get into this. Much smaller kit than I was expecting, but let's see how good these robots look when fully built up. Back soon. Okay, I'm back and I have my first ever Apocalypse unboxing and build done. I just want to have a look at the Tech-Priest Dominus first. There's this large figure at the front here. And a creepy looking dude. You know, look at these feet. And I guess the whole point of being a Tech-Priest is to replace all of the fleshy gooey parts with mechanical parts. And I think he's most of the way there. Maybe a creepy little hand holding onto this stick at the front is meat, but I don't think there's a huge amount of the original person left. A huge amount of detail in this miniature. There's a lot to pick out and paint here. There's some incredibly ornate weapons, like I talked about when I was looking at the sprue. I mean, this revolver here is gorgeous. And you could probably try a lot of different groovy little paint effects. You know, sort of glowing lights and these, like, whatever this canister thing is here. The axe is pretty spectacular. And this, you know, weapon here, which is undoubtedly going to be glowing. Yeah. Pretty cool. You can probably hear that catching on my fingers. It's spiky, all right. And then we have our 3 Datasmiths. It's going to line the 3 of them up. There's not a huge amount of difference. You can sort of position arms and things differently. There's this articulated, like, robot arm here at the back that you're able to sort of have the fingers open or closed. You can have it coming up over the shoulder, or you can have it sort of resting backwards here. And I was able to do sort of 3 variants on it there. So there is a little bit of space to play, but from a distance, they do look very similar. I think it's important to try to at least do that, to make them look like individuals rather than just like cookie cutter minis. And some kits will be more successful than others. This one, I don't think this was massively successful. If you line them up beside each other, for sure, you can spot the differences, but it was really these 6 robots that gave me the most concern, because they just look so boring on the box. They're all just standing with their arms by their sides, really. There's just not a lot going on there. And I was thinking, if these are like key fit, it's going to be such a pain to put them together. But immediately, as I saw in the sprue, I could see that there were ball and socket joints, and I thought, why did they make them so boring on the box if they had ball and socket? And then I thought, maybe something else will get in the way that I just can't tell from the sprue. But no, it's not the case. You can have a huge amount of fun posing these. So here's one, just the first one I picked up. He's in full-on firing with both barrels. He's got this weapon over the shoulder pointing in roughly the same direction. Got a slight tilt on the body. You know, he's turned slightly this way. The legs going the other way. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed these guys. I thought these were going to be so dull. Let's go on to the next one. And look at the difference. This guy's off balance. He's shooting off this way. He's, I think, putting this arm down to sort of steady himself. This articulated weapon at the back here, this flamer unit, it's matched up, lined up with this one. And yeah, he just looks slightly unbalanced, slightly, clearly in mid-combat. And I thought that was so cool. And here's another one. This is 2 hands here rather than any guns. And then this other guy here, I'm not sure if he's off balance or if he's like reaching down for something here. There could be something like a head or something right in front of him. This hand here could be raised to just pulverize it. I just like this option for the pose. And speaking of dynamism, I put this one into a full-on jog. Looking back, I should have probably done this with others, but I wanted to tell a different story with each miniature, and I thought that maybe having just this one guy, he's got weapons on both arms, he's got this flamer unit sort of pointing in the direction of this firearm, and to me he just looks full-on racing towards the enemy. That would just be terrifying. There's no human underneath this. This is all machine. And this thing just wants to obliterate whatever's in front of it. I thought that was cool. So yeah, the robots were the huge surprise for me. I had a great amount of fun just trying to pose them in all different sort of angles to give them a little bit of narrative. The 3 Datasmiths were kind of dull. The Tech-Priest is disturbing and interesting and incredibly intricate. But yeah, the robots win for me. And all of the images I had seen of them up to that point had been so dull. But if you get a chance to get some of these and get them built, I hope you have as much fun as I had. So cool. On the next episode, I'm doing another one of these sort of mini army unboxings. This one is from the Apocalypse range. The one next week is going to be from the Battle Force range. And I'll be looking at the Space Wolves. I'm so used to unboxing Adeptus Mechanicus and Blood Angels at this stage that a bunch of Space Werewolves are going to be a really interesting prospect for me. But that's on the next episode. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking and sharing and subscribing. You can also check me out on Instagram. Just search for Grey Primer Social, or I'll also put a link in the show notes below. Until the next time, though, please take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.